Hello, beloved souls. It's Woke Wednesday. So, my beautiful woo woo crew, welcome to the 144,000 star seeds, witches, warlocks, shamans, indigos, twin flames, crystals, healers, however you choose to label yourself. All are welcome, right? This is really where we just tap into the energies of those that are a little bit more awakened, are kind of really in receptive mode to all the extra stuff that's going on. We've had such intense energies coming into this planet. We had that beautiful Lionsgate, and we had the super full moon in Aquarius. Now we're moving towards the new moon in Virgo. We're moving out of Leo season into Virgo season, right? So the sun is shifting. We're going from that really big fire, passionate energy where we were center stage and everybody's looking at us and we're putting on our best faces to this really quiet time, right? Where we're going within and we're taking some moments to ourselves. It's almost like, oh my God, that's so funny. It's so funny. I was thinking about Chris Brown being on a freaking concert, right? He was on tour. It's just like he was on tour, doing all this stuff, doing all this beautiful meet and greets, really just out there sharing his energies with everyone. And then he went home and everything quieted down. Like his social media, everything quieted down because you go from standing in the spotlight with this beautiful Leo energy to just needing some time to yourself and being one with your own energies and this Virgo energy, right? So it's a real shift right now to go within, to get still, to get quiet, to be one with your own energies, right? To maybe sort through everything that you've learned throughout Leo season, right? The things that you saw because it was a lot of light coming in, a lot of awarenesses came in for all of us as well, right? It's a really beautiful energies. Clearing this energy again because I need to. Anyway, so I'm gonna pull some cards, see what's going on with you, my beautiful light workers, way showers. And let's just see what this beautiful new moon in Virgo has in store for you, right? Shift from Leo season to Virgo season as we start getting clear about our manifestations and the things that we want to create in the next 6 to 18 months, how we want our life to look, as we've decided to pick up the quill and start rewriting the books of our lives, right? What story are we going to tell this time around? All right. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for being here with me in the light work. Okay. What I need to know, what I need to say. That's so funny. They're like, oh, we got a lot to say. Bottom of the deck, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Hey, newsflash for you. You are supported. So now what? Not if you knew you were going to be supported, because that's a great question. But now that you know you are supported fully and wholly in this realm and others, what are you going to do? What are you being called to do? How are you going to show up? Right? Are you going to stand in your truth? Are you going to stand in your power? Are you going to walk on that path? Are you going to do the thing that you've always really known that you wanted to do and been guided to do and can't get away from? Or are you going to keep trying to play small and hide? You're a light worker, guess what? Shine your light, right? And the light has so much within it, right? It comes from the deep recesses of our soul. But guess what? Where's the light seen best? In a lit room or in the darkness, right? So allow yourself to walk through, allow yourself to be in those moments and know that you are the light, shining that light as a lighthouse does, right? On a hilltop, letting the ships know, hey, this is a safe space, this is a safe harbor. You're okay here. Doesn't mean the ships are going to come. It doesn't mean that they're going to follow the light, but you're standing there in your truth and you've created that safe space, right? You've got the grace for them to hold that light, right? Getting battered and beaten by the storms, but nothing ever changes. It doesn't dim your light because that light is from within, because you are the lighthouse. It's really beautiful. I've just relocated to a spot where I have. It's funny. I keep being put into these weird situations. Like one, when I was in New York, I got put into this situations where I was in a really dark space, right? Not a dark space within my own energies, but placed in a place with a lot of people that did not see their own light, that did not understand their divinity, their sovereignty, that really did not feel the love of God within them, right? And so I got put in those situations to be the lighthouse, right? To remind them, hey, you are sovereign, you are divine, you are loved, you are much better than the choices that you make, and no one is judging you. There's so much with these energies of judgment, and I feel like a lot of that energy is coming up now because we're moving towards Virgo season, right? And the shadow side of Virgos is judgment and self criticism. But we bring awareness to the darker parts of ourselves. We bring awareness to our ego, not in order to judge ourselves, right? We're not doing this thing to be like, oh, you did this wrong and you're not good enough. No, we're bringing awareness to it because it's like, hey, I can make a shift here. Hey, I'm better than some other choices that I made, right? Or like, this pattern doesn't make sense to me. There's something that I need to change. I don't want that to be my truth, right? That was the reality of my ancestors. That was the reality of the people in my culture. That was the reality of what they said women did or men did, but that's not my reality. That's not my truth, right? So really owning it and having that awareness of self comes through to that, right? So you're on this. So to say all that, so I was in a place before where it was like a lot of darkness, right? And having to be the light there and to remind people of their own light. And not everybody's comfortable with it, right? Some people are really comfortable with the hells that they've created for themselves because they are appalled by these like strange heavens, right? Even though they know it's gonna feel better, it's gonna look better, or they're being told and they can see it, they don't see it for themselves because they don't think that they deserve it. Right. And so now I'm in a space where I'm around people that don't realize that they have the option to not live in the dictates of what they were told, right? Like people have created these boxes for themselves, right? And whether that box is like, I have to go to school, I have to have kids, I have to get married, or I'm not fulfilled, right? As opposed to being fulfilled within their own energies, in their own space, and secure within their own being, that even if they don't fit into the box, they're comfortable with that, right? And so I'm around people and I've seen this and had a lot of conversations with people that are within these boxes, right? Whether it's a box of religion or a box that their family created or the box of marriage, whatever it may be, right? And so shining my light here and being like, hey, it's okay to be confident and secure and in love with yourself and single. It's okay to be confident and secure and in love with yourself and not work the job that maybe your mom or dad got for you to get right out of school, right? Like it's okay to do something differently. Dare to be a little different. Dare to explore. Dare to expand your mind. Dare to leave your block or your community and go do something greater with yourselves, right? And weren't all raised that way, right? We weren't all told that we can be, do, or have anything, right? I grew up in a family that worked really, really hard, right? But they were miserable. And so I didn't want a life where I was always working really hard, but miserable, right? That is not my life. That is not the path for me, right? And so being an entrepreneur or shepreneur, especially a spiritual entrepreneur, is very different from the things that I grew up with, very different from the path that many of my friends are on. But the people that are in my tribe, whether that's their path or not, they're supporting me doing it my way, right? And then I've met other light workers and way showers along the way that are also doing it their way. And we're all being like, hey, we might be the black sheeps of our family, but at least we're the happy sheep. You know what I mean? Like I might be isolated, but I like it over here, right? We have great conversations over here. It's really positive over here. It feels really good over here. I'm not just going to the slaughter. No, I'm taking my little black sheep stuff and I'm walking off doing a different path, right? And I'm following where my heart is. I'm following that light, right? I'm not walking into the darkness. I'm not going to just walk off a cliff because that makes everyone else feel good about what's going on within my own life, right? And so we're in a season of awareness, of bringing this stuff up to the forefront, of being like, you know what? That's my shadow. That's my ego. That was my past. They all created me and they all helped me to bring me to this point. And now I'm ready to move forward. And some of those things can come with me, and some of those things can't. There's nothing wrong with me being where I'm at right now. We're all right where we need to be. Perfect in this moment, in this situation, right? You got here for a reason. You're here for a reason. So what are you going to do with this energy? What are you going to do with that knowingness? Right? Are you going to sit there and judge and criticize yourself because you're not further along? Who are you comparing yourself to? Who are you listening to that thinks that you should be doing something different, right? Are they really happy? 9 times out of 10, when somebody's giving you shit for living your life your own way, or forging your own path, or moving forward with life, they're doing it from a space of fear. They're doing it from their own limitations, right? I love to hear people that they quick to comment on what I'm doing, but I'm like, how many businesses have you started? Fucking crickets. Crickets. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you moved here and you moved there. Cool. How many different places have you been to? Crickets. Have you traveled? Have you read? Have you gotten an education, or have you explored something? Have you tried something new? Have you tasted this food? Like, don't tell me you don't like something if you never tried it. Don't judge the fact that I like to travel when you just stay in the block, right? I grew up in New York, and you know how many people I met in New York that have never left New York City? And some of them have never even left their boroughs, right? I literally went to Brooklyn and met up with a friend of my baby father's, and he had never been outside of Brooklyn. And my mind was blown. Like, I was like, how do you not leave the borough? Like, let's not even get to the city. Like, how do you not leave the borough? There's 5 boroughs in New York City. You mean you tell me you've never been to any of the other ones? No, right? Narrow-minded, narrow viewpoint, very limited. And so us trying to explore and grow, or just even invite them to another borough for something else, is like beyond them, right? And that's really frightening. That's really frightening because you have children, right? You're going to raise them to just stay within these little boxes. Or are you trying to hold them back from going to school in a different location or doing something more with their life because of your own fears and your own limitations? You know what I mean? So we have a lot of that going on. So this is about you standing in your light, standing in your truth, right? And being comfortable with your own light and your own truth, being comfortable being by yourself, being in your own energies, right? Falling so deeply in love with yourself that everything else in your life, it just starts to click and to line up, right? Maybe you're the boring person because you like to stay by yourself. Hey, guess what? Being by yourself is healthier than being in toxic situations, right? Clock out and go home. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Oh my God, leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. Somehow I felt like 2 cards there. So first we gotta trust your path, and then they're telling you to leap. Look at that beautiful full moon. So between now, as we head to this new moon in Virgo, and then we head to the next full moon. We just had a full moon in Aquarius, so what's up next? Full moon in Pisces, right? We're really shifting these energies to be bold, to be courageous, to put ourselves out there, to shine our light brighter, to again be the lighthouse, be the way shower, right? You're a light worker and a way shower. How are you going to show people the way if you're just sitting in the closet in the house, right? You got to put it out there. You got to create that path. You got to walk that path, right? Let them see the footprints in the sand in front of them so they know which way to go, right? Let them see the footprints in the snow so they know which path to walk on. But it starts by you walking that path. It starts by you trusting the path. It starts by you knowing that you're going to take a step in the dark. And that even if you don't see the next step, hey, either another step is going to appear to you or the universe is going to catch you if you start falling, right? And that's what this is. Really just having that faith for this brand new beginning, right? And new moons are about manifestations. So just putting it out there. What are you trying to manifest in your life? Is it a divine love? Is it divine abundance? Is it divine health and harmony and peace and well-being? Right? What are you putting out there? And are you willing to show the universe that you're serious by taking some bold action steps? Right? We get stuck in this place of like analysis paralysis where we're overthinking. We want to have everything all lined up and put out all of our ducks in a row. But that's not the reality of things, right? Because we can line 12 things up and need 13 and one goes to shit. And does that mean you shouldn't go on your path? Or does it mean maybe that you need to adjust, right? Change the sails of your boat to accommodate the winds. But know that the end goal is always the end goal, right? You're following that star, your true north. And you're trusting in that. You're trusting, hey, I may not be able to see. It might be really dark outside, but I see that star, and I know that if I keep following that, I'm going to be going north. So I know what direction my boat is because the star doesn't change. My true north doesn't change, right? It's like the direction of a compass. North is always north is always north. If I need to go east, that's cool, but north is always north is always north. That is my point of reference. And from there, I can figure out east, south, and west, but north is always north. Follow your true north, my beautiful ones. Star seeds, guess what? What lights you up? What brings you peace? What brings you harmony? What brings joy to your life? I'm just saw 1444. What is singing to your soul, right? You are light workers, way showers, witches, shamans, crystals, indigos, twin flames, right? You're these beings of high vibrational energy, and you are a game changer, right? You walk through the supermarket and you change the energy of the supermarket. You walk into the room, you change the energy of the room just by being you, just by being high vibrational. And so it really shifts things when you're standing in your light. I worked for a company, a restaurant in New York, and it's all fun and games, all good. Like, I running restaurants easy. It's like I can do it with my eyes closed, right? I love people, I love food, I love booze, love music. It's all of a win-win situation. And I really pour into people no matter what work I'm doing, whatever the label is. I always pour into people. This is just one of the gifts that I've been given, to be able to be really compassionate and empathetic and to hold space for people. And I remember one of my employers sitting me down and he's like, listen, when you're in a great mood, the whole staff is in a great mood, the whole restaurant is in a great mood, the vibe is spectacular. But when you're not, it is felt, and the staff can feel it, And I was like, stop pissing me off. You know what I mean? And it was like, it's not that I'm just showing up in a bad mood, but if I'm showing up to support you and your team and your business and your endeavors, and you're treating your people like they're nothing, like like they mean nothing, like their feelings mean nothing, like they hold no value, then this is not the space for me. Because each and every one of these people is showing up here, sacrificing their time away from their families, away from their own goals and dreams, to help build your business, to help make your dream come true, to help give you your happily ever after, to give you time to spend with your family and your friends. And so, no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you treating them like nothing is okay, because it's not okay. And if my vibe is telling you that, I'm not going to shift my vibe. You shift your vibe. Be better. Do better. Be a better person. Understand that these people are your people. These people are here for you, to love and support you. So the least you can do is learn their names. The least you can do is say hello when someone says hello to you. I mean, that's the very least you can do. The least you can do is pay them on time because they showed up to work on time. You know what I'm saying? That is how powerful our energetic fields are. That's how powerful you are as a light worker, as a way shower. So own that and own your own power, right? Be the lighthouse in the middle of the storm on a really dark and cloudy night that lets that ship know that there's a safe space. Whether they choose to follow you or not is not on you, but you've created the safe space. Do what lights you up so that you can be that light. Do you like to sing? Do you like to dance? Do you like to cook? Do you like to make love? Do you like to run? Do you like to jump? Do you like to play games? Right? Does it light your soul up when you're really grinding hard at work and working on a project and knowing that you're going to get something done? Does it make you feel really good when you're hanging out with your grandkids or your kids? Right? Does it make you feel really good to go for a run every once in a while, or to really get your house in order and get organized? Right? We all have our own things. Cooking is one of my love languages, right? Sex is one of my love languages, but I'm not doing that with everyone. That's a very personal, intimate thing. But cooking is my love language, and that's something that I can give to everyone. I love to cook with and for my kids, right? I love, people are always like, oh, you don't have to cook them, but it doesn't bother me because I love to do it, right? It's one of the ingredients in my food all the time. That is my love language. That makes me happy. Listening to music makes me happy. Being on YouTube and pouring into you guys and being a channel for these messages makes me happy. These are the things that light me up, right? I love when I get DMs and comments under like my posts on Instagram or Facebook or even here on YouTube. People email me too at the Enlightened Daughter gmail.com. Email me like, hey, you didn't know I was going through a really hard time and I was following your messages and they were really speaking to me, and oh, I heard your message and it resonated and I really needed that right now. Like, it makes me know that, like, I'm not doing this for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I love to show up for people no matter what's going on in my world. And I have a lot going on in my own world, right? I've just moved from one state to another place I've never been, creating a whole new life with me and my children, and really loving space and a happy environment. And this is a whole new thing for me. But as I'm doing all these shifts, it doesn't take away from the fact that I still have this beautiful tribe that I pour into all the time. And I love to pour into my tribe, right? It's not a burden to me. This is a gift to me. This is an honor to me. This is a pleasure. It's like when my children thank me for something, or they're like, "Oh, ma," and I'm like, "You know, it is my honor and my pleasure to take care of you. It's my honor and my pleasure to do whatever I can for you because you're my babies. You're my gifts. You're my blessings. You're my miracles from the divine." Right? Like, no, it's not going to be all fun and games all the time, but don't ever think that I don't ever want to be a mom. prayed for this gift every day. How dare I pray for something, ask God for something, and then bitch when it shows up. Miserable, right? Miserable. Just remember that. Remember your light. Remember your sovereignty. Remember your divinity. Remember how dope you are. And then remember the things that make you feel good. Is it drawing, right? Is it creating music? Whatever that is that lights you up, do more of that and do it often. Okay? And we have, wow, take a break. A life's work. A life's work, my beautiful way showers and light workers. Not a season. Get off the treadmill, right? You don't have to go, 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 go until your body can't do it anymore. No, you need to honor your body. Honor the space you're in. Again, we just had a lot of light codes coming in recently, and that takes a toll on the physical vessel. That takes a toll on the physical vessel. So if you're being told to hydrate, to rest, to just tap out sometimes, that's what you need to do, right? We had the beautiful Lionsgate on the 8th, and we had the super full moon in Aquarius. And then after that, on the 18th of August, we had huge solar storms and solar flares. And not everyone is highly affected by it, but I am one of those people that's highly affected by it. And 818 is also a very activating number within my own soul contract, right? So that was a lot going on for me. And I felt it. I felt it before the energies came in. I started feeling on the 17th, and I got rocked through the 18th, right? And I needed to sit, and I needed to ground, and I needed to just be one with myself. And I was so grateful for the rains that come in, because the rains always come in for me when things are activating, and it gave me time to just cleanse my field, right? Cleanse my energies. I have to take a bath and sit down and really just get settled within my energies, because it was kind of overwhelming, right? It was really strong and really overwhelming. So if you're being guided to take a break, do that, right? Whatever that means to you, whatever that means for your life, it's okay. This is a long term thing, right? This is eternal. You're an eternal soul. Everything does not need to be done right now. And yes, we all have different soul contracts, but it doesn't mean that everything needs to be fulfilled in this lifetime. You have the opportunity to come back and finish some things out, in case you didn't know, right? Before you go trying to kill yourself. Anyway, thank you, ancestors and guides. I'm gonna hit the Star Seed Oracle now, because hey, Star Seeds, what lights you up? What do we need to know? What do we need to see about this beautiful full moon in Virgo? What does the woo woo crew need to know? Oh my lord. No, none of that felt right. Sorry. I'm starting again because I just didn't feel right. Bottom of the deck, the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So big love energy is coming in. I've been feeling that a lot. Been feeling a lot of openings within the heart chakra as we heal around our heart, as we're melting the frozen energies that have kept us safe around our heart, right? A lot of us are clearing grief energy, not just from our own past lives, but from our ancestors as well. A lot of grief, a lot of fear. Um, and depending on how you incarnated in this time, that can be a cultural thing, right? Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Again, with this conflict energy. Be mindful during this time of what is triggering you, and not to just be reacting, right? Like, why are you getting triggered? Why are you so argumentative? Why are you so defensive? Um, are you taking these observations and being hypercritical, right? And on the defense because somebody says something to you? Is it valid, or is there some things that you need to be working out within your own energetic field, right? Like, why are you so on end? This Virgo energy is about judgments and self-criticism on the shadow side, right? So if you're aware of these energies, you can traverse this a little bit easier. If you have strong Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or Cancer placements in your chart, this is going to be even more heightened for you at this time, right? I'm a Cancer rising, so I'm even more mindful of the fact that I could be triggered. I also have a Taurus and Venus, right? So when it comes to the heart chakra, it's like don't be defensive, don't close your heart off, don't be so quick to just to doubt and shut up somebody who's coming to you with love and affection at this time, right? So that's just putting it out there for everybody. And these karmic relationships that are coming to an end, as the collective is shifting, we're shifting away from the emptiness of relationships, right? We're shifting away from things that are based solely off of the uh, cardinal pleasures. We're shifting away from being with somebody just because they look good on paper or because, like they got the most expensive sneakers, the most expensive jeans, she got the most expensive bag. Like just because a person looks good doesn't make them a good look, right? So we're releasing those energies, we're clearing those out. Sometimes our karmic partners are our parents, right? Or family members, or their baby mothers or baby daddies, and we gotta let that stuff go. And it's not always easy, right? It's not always easy to walk away from those relationships, especially when it comes to family, right? Because that's your family at the end of the day. But they don't define you. They don't define your soul. And a lot of us incarnated with these families for these lessons, right? To learn to stand in our power, to learn to stand in our truth, to learn to be independent, right? To learn to love ourselves, to learn that um labels don't always mean something, but our hearts and our souls do, right? Many of us, especially if you're here in the woo-woo community, have had to create your own new families, right? Because the families that you grew up around or in we're toxic, we're unhealthy, right? And but you incarnated in those families for a reason to learn and to break those karmic patterns, right? You're the ones that have decided, hey, the buck stops here, right? I'm not gonna do the same shit that my ancestors did for my descendants. It stops here. And we're clearing the energies here, and guess what? We get to clear them 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. And that's a really powerful thing. That's a lot of responsibility, but it's a really powerful thing. Inner Earth. You'll survive this. You need to know you'll survive this. That's hilarious. New solutions and beginnings, right? So as we move to this beautiful Virgo new moon, just know it's all right, right? You're right. You're right. You're right. It's all good. You're going to be okay. We're moving through this. The world is shifting. We're going from the 3D to the 5D into the age of Aquarius. And it might seem like the world is imploding around us, but it's actually not. It's a dual universe, right? So the more light that comes in, guess what? We're gonna see more of the darkness. Now we're starting to see the dirt, right? Try to clean the house with the lights off. You might get some stuff done, right? Maybe you'll be able to put the dishes away, maybe sweep the big stuff off the floor, but you're not really seeing things for what they are. But when the lights are on and you open up the windows, you open up the blinds, you let the sunlight in, you're like, holy shit, this place is filthy, right? I gotta dust, I gotta mop, I gotta vacuum, I gotta take these curtains down and get them and beat them. I gotta go beat the carpet, like all types of stuff, right? But guess what? Then the house is clean, right? It might be a lot of work. It might seem like it's all for nothing. But at the end of the day, it's great. It's like a house renovation, right? You go into a home that's been foreclosed and they're all pissed off because they lost their home. So they're ripping the sinks out the freaking wall and putting cement in the freaking tub and all that stuff. But you decide to buy the house anyway. You can see the beauty of it, right? You can envision it when it's done. And then you just put in the work. And it might be a lot of work. It might be heavy. It might even cost a lot. But at the end, you have a beautiful brand new home, right? Even something that you can either live in or even sell for a profit. You never know, right? But you did that. You showed up, right? You took your lights and you shone a light in that place. And you saw it for what it truly was and not what it was just left in, right? You saw it through the eyes of heaven and not just the 3D realm of, oh, I got this really crappy broken down house, right? Oh my God, I love the fact that this came out. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Like I said, you guys are here as way showers and light workers. You have to show up, right? You don't have to. We have free will, but you're being guided to show up. You go first and others follow, right? It's so funny because when there's all these energies coming onto the planet, right, as they're coming, I catch them early, right? So it might be like, oh, the full moon is in 2 weeks, and a week or two earlier, I'm already getting rocked. I'm like, come on. I'm like, and I start looking. I'm like, all right, what's going on planetarily? What do we have coming on? Because why am I feeling all these shifts, all these chaos, or whatever? But it's like, as light workers, as way showers, as like those of us that are here in the spiritual community, we're like the first responders on the earth, right? Like we're the spiritual first responders. So you're forging this new path because once again, you got to walk in the sand and let people see the footprints that are behind, right? They're following us, but they need to have a path to walk on. So they're following those footsteps. You're walking in the snow. Again, the footsteps of what is being followed. So you're the one forging the new path. You're the one letting them know, hey, it's safe over here. Hey, you can walk over here. Hey, it's okay over here. You got your light shining bright and you're creating the path with your footprints, right? Just run your fingers through the walk-in. Remember those commercials? Oh my God, I'm aging myself. That's so funny. Don't ask. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. God is within you. God, universe, source, whatever you choose to name it, right? That energy lies within you. You can be, do, or have anything that you want in this world. It starts by acknowledging that, right? You are made, we're all made in the image of God, right? What does that mean? That means the same powers that the Most High had to bring worlds into creation also lies within us. That is why we're the CEOs of our lives. That is why we're the authors of our books, right? Because that energy lies within us. So what kind of world are you envisioning? What kind of world are you creating for yourself, right? What do you want to see manifest in this world? And how are you showing up in order to make that happen? Oh my God, and the whale and orca elders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Because for many of you, you're going to be connecting more with music, with sound, with frequencies, right? Binaural beats, all that stuff. Maybe you're doing like the Tibetan sound bowls, right? Or maybe you're just getting in the waters and connecting with the whales and the dolphins. Whales and dolphins, like humans, um, weren't created to die necessarily. Humans have accepted that we will die at some point, but it's not actually how we're created. Our bodies can actually keep going if we decide to keep the party going. There's a reason that people in the Bible lived for thousands of years. Do your homework. All right, Gaia. What do you got for the way showers and the light workers this week? This was shaman, bottom of the deck. Shout out to the shamans, shamankas out there. Some of you have been that in this life, and some of you have been that in past lives. So thank you, Gaia. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. What do we need to know for this beautiful new moon in Virgo? Wow. Okay. Perfect. Bottom of the deck. What did I tell you? We're doing this healing, clearing, deep cellular level. Our past lives are stored within our DNA, right? So you're clearing your past life and karmic debt. You're clearing stuff that your ancestors have inside of you, right? As a woman, you're born with your eggs inside of you already, right? So that means that when I was born, all of my traumas, all of my drama, all of my pains are already within my daughter's DNA. Everything that my grandmother went through was already within me. Everything that my mom went through is in my daughter. It was some deep, deep work. I go so hard on this work, and I go so hard on my healing, and I go so hard on clearings because I will not have my daughter or my son or anyone that comes after us deal with the same energetic BS, right? The buck stops here. I've chosen to do the healing, right? And because I've chosen to do the healing, guess what? There's a lot to be done. It's deep cellular work, right? And for some of us, when you're doing that deep cellular work, that's why they're telling you to take a break. Hey, you can't always just be clearing and healing and clearing and healing and not giving your body time to integrate, not giving your body time to rest, not letting you gotta let your cells do what they gotta do, right? Stay hydrated and nourish them as you're healing, as you're clearing, as you're doing all this work. New beginnings, dawn, I love that. Right? New moon energy, new beginnings, manifestations, creating the world that you want to live in, right? Bringing the light into your world once again. The dawn shall come after the darkness. Rebirth, right? stepping into a new timeline, just so 3444, right? You're stepping onto a new timeline. You're stepping into the highest and greatest version of yourself. You're rebirthing yourself, right? You're releasing the past, the ego, the karmic patterns, and you're recreating your own life. So what do you want that to look like? Right? You're birthing your own new world. Are you going to birth yourself as someone who is a victim? Or are you going to birth yourself as someone who is an emperor or an empress, a god or a goddess in this world, right? Remembering your divinity, remembering your sovereignty, remembering that you're a child of this beautiful universe, right? We have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful manifestations coming in. Freaking, these mosquitoes are killing me. Sorry if I keep scratching them, like mosquito bites. Pissing me off. Fog, veiled. We're moving away from this veil, right? We're moving away from a space where we think things are hidden from us and that we can't see clearly. The fog is being lifted so that we can see clearly, right? So you're rising above this. And again, with this beautiful light codes coming in, beautiful light codes coming in. The veil is spinning. And for those that are open and are willing and are open and willing to receive these beautiful light codes and these beautiful activations, your world is changing. Your world is beautifully changing. Connect with the earth once again, right? Really connecting with Gaia, connecting with the trees, connecting with the grass, the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom, the fairy realm, the dragon realm, the unicorn realm, whatever it is, right? Really getting outside, getting grounded, hugging the trees, earthing, right? Getting your feet on the soil, getting into bodies of water. If you can't, bring the earth inside, get some plants, get some flowers, do what you got to do. But really connect with that energy and it gets you grounded. And the fairies are here to support you. And like I said, big heart healing and activations going in. Big love healing coming in. Heart chakras being cracked open. Compassion for yourself, as well as compassion for the rest of Gaia and all of its inhabitants. It's about being compassionate on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself on this path, right? It's a lot of work, but it's also the long game. It's eternal. Everything does not need to be done right now, right? So as you're um traversing this earth and as you're moving from one level to another, be easy on yourself, right? Give yourself some grace, give yourself some love, give yourself some space. No, hey, I may not be perfect, but I'm me. And I'm showing up and I'm trying, right? And I'm doing the best that I can. And tomorrow I'll be even better, right? Today was a good day. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. And just keep showing up and keep your heart open. I felt that really big. Like, keep your heart open. What did I say, Starseeds? What lights you up, right? What lights you up? For some of you, this is going to be music. Maybe you're creating music. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you're a singer. Again, with the sounds, we had that with the whales and the orcas, right? Sounds and frequencies are coming in. You're going to be hearing messages to music. Many of you, especially if you're singers and musicians, like producers, writers, whatever, you're encoding your music with light codes and light language. And for some of you, that's the messages that you're getting. You're receiving these light codes and these light messages through these different light workers and way showers that are creating music. There's so many artists out there that are starting to imbue their music with these different light codes and light activations that they're just activating us. You're starting to see them more in movies, in the books that you read. Like if you're tapped in, tuned in, and paying attention, it's coming through. It's coming through. And I mean, with the imagery, with the sounds, with the different light codes, with the different light language, it's all coming through. Just really tune in and listen. There's going to be music that you really resonate with. But understand also with the music that you're listening to, when we like a song, right, it plays back in our minds over and over and over again, like an affirmation, right? So be mindful of the things that you're listening to because they're like little mini affirmations. What are you telling yourself, right? What is the song that you're singing to yourself over and over again? Is it pouring into your highest and greatest good, or is it kind of low vibrational and pulling you down? Nothing wrong with liking the music that you like. Again, I grew up listening to rap and R&B and rock and all different types of music. But my music has shifted somewhat because now I realize the power and the potency of some of the words and some of the things that are being said, right? I'm not with the music that's just basically encouraging fuckery and foolishness and low vibrational energy, right? But I love listening to, especially rap music. I love listening to a rap artist that came from the streets and was doing the dumb shit and has now shifted their energies and they're like, listen, I did this and I did this path and this is how I got out, right? They're giving you stories, they're giving you guidelines, they're giving you pathways, they're giving you maps on how to move from a low vibrational energy to a higher vibrational energy. Like I'm all the way with it. I'm all the way with it, but you got to pay attention. I listen to music all the time, and people are like, "Oh, you don't," and I'm like, "I don't listen to the radio because if I can't understand what this person is saying, and there's a lot of music out there where it's just like tomfoolishness. I'm like, what language are you speaking? Like, have you read a book? Do you know what it means to enunciate? Like, it's painful, it hurts my soul. But I will not listen to something until I go on like Google Translate or see the lyrics. I want to read what you're saying because I want to make sure that I'm not just out here jamming to something where he's like, hey, I sodomized my grandmother and killed my kids. Like, I want to make sure that I'm really clear about what it is that I'm jamming to, about, what it is that's going to have me out here with the booty shakes. You know what I'm saying? And fire, passion. What are you passionate about? How can you bring that energy into your life? Fire is also here to purify and to purge, right? Cleansing out the things that you don't want. And in that burn pathway, we have the ability to create new life. It's about bringing passion into your life, fun, um, really just rekindling the embers and the sparks within your own soul, right? And that own passionate energy. Again, we move from Leo season into Virgo season. So that fiery, fiery, fiery energy of Leo season, right? And now that it's burned away everything that's no longer serving us, and we're in Virgo season with that grounding energy, right? That soil, right, has been fertilized with the things that have burned away. What are you going to be planting in that ground? What are you willing to do? Putting it out there, my beloveds. Putting it out there. All right, we're going to get one final message. I'm not going to say one. We're going to get final messages because I want to play myself. From the Gateway Oracle, the beautiful way showers that work with the Woo Woo crew. So can I get some final messages, please, angels and guides? This new world of Virgo. What did I say? I'm not going to say one final message and then look at this without fail. Receiving from angels the love, the affection. Let them wrap their beautiful arms around you. Feel the energy of the angels surrounding you. Feel the love surrounding you, right? Open your hearts to this. Connect with your angels. You need help? Call out to them. They're there, right? Pouring into you, loving you at all times. My God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. We got a lot of cards. Boom. New moon. About what? Manifestations, right? So you're manifesting your dreams, your goals, the things that you want. Be really clear about what you want because these energies are potent and heightened at this time, right? My dreams are coming true. So cornucopia, it's abundance, right? All available to you. Are you open to it? Accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. This is about loving every aspect of you. Your ego self, your soul self, right? Your shadow, your light, everything, knowing that you're perfectly perfect in your imperfections in the eyes of the divine. You are already whole. You are already complete. You are completely loved in the eyes of the divine. You're completely loved in the eyes of the divine. You are who you are and you're at where you're at. Love yourself where you're at. It doesn't mean that you don't set goals for something else. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't want higher and better for yourself. It means that you're okay in this present moment and you know that you're just going to keep moving forward, right? You're moving to a higher timeline. You're doing things now to work for your highest and greatest good, but it starts by just being okay with where I'm at today, right? Being comfortable within your own skin, within your own space, and knowing that today doesn't define your tomorrow because at any point you can make a change. Every day we have a chance to rewrite our book, to close one chapter and to begin another, right? Mending bridges. I heal rifts. I am a mender. I really feel like this is an energy of your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies. Although for some of you this could be external, right, with people in your life that just healing these relationships. We had karmic partnerships coming up, but really this is about you coming into balance with your own energies, right, and healing that within yourself. Again, your light and your shadow self, right, like not being so quick to judge it but understanding that all of that makes you who you are, right? It's a combination. right? Of everything. And it makes you whole. All parts contribute to the one, right? Coming into power. This is not surprising. This has been a theme this week in almost every single reading that I've done. This is us coming into our own power, working with our solar plexus energy, right? Which is our own internal sun. Standing in our power, standing in our truth, not being afraid to show our light, not being afraid to show our light. Light workers, right? You are the light on the hill, a guiding light to everyone else in the dark, letting them see it's safe to be there. It's okay to be powerful. It's okay to be in your light. It's okay to let yourself shine. It's okay to be authentic, to be true to who you are. All of that is a beautiful gift, right? I step into my power boldly and confidently. The angels are surrounding you, your ancestors are surrounding you, you're doing deep inner work, you're healing, you got your galactic ancestors, right? Standing in here with you. All of that, everyone just supporting you, celebrating you, letting you know, keep going, do what you got to do. You came here with these gifts, with these talents, with these skills for a reason. Step into it, allow that to flow through because you deserve it. You deserve it. And last but not least, soaring into joy, right? Childlike wonder fills my life. Joy is internal, right? The joy that we have in our hearts is given to us by the Most High God, and no one can take that away unless we choose to give that away. So choose to be joyful in all that you do. Once again, star seeds, what lights you up, right? What lights you up? What makes you feel good? Maybe it's going to like a carnival or something and playing with some balloons or hanging out with your kids or walking by a playground or going for a run or going bowling or going skating or exercising or gaming or just going to the beach, like whatever it is. Maybe you're getting on the phone with a friend and talking your shit, like whatever it is, like what makes you feel good? How can you be more joyful? How can you bring more joy into your life, right? Watching a comedy, right? Just laugh every day. Feel good. Do something to laugh. Do something to joy. Do something to just make yourself feel good and to raise your vibration and to hold that space there and to know that your light is going to attract all the beautiful things that you need. And yes, flies and mosquitoes do come with the light too, but that's okay. You don't have to be worried about that because we have bug spray. It's all right. It'll be all right. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it's went a lot longer than I intended, but I love you so much and it's worth it. It's so worth it. So I love you more than you could possibly ever know. I love you guys so much. You are so important to all of us, and you're so important to this planet. And your energy and your light and you standing in your sovereignty and your divinity means something. And if you happen to be like me, who was kind of like isolated or ostracized for the path that you're on, just know that you're forging a new path, right? And it may seem ridiculous or crazy to people, other people, because there's not a path before you, but that's okay. You're here to start the path. You're here to make a way. You're here to be the visionary, to be the way shower, to be the light worker, to show the path and to show people that there is another way. And it doesn't have to make sense to them because it's not their path. It doesn't have to make sense to them because it's not their soul contract. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone but you and your own soul. So trust in the guidance that you're receiving from your higher self. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are coming in. Align with your angels, align with your ancestors, right? If you need guidance, ask for it, right? The Lord, it even says in the Bible, right? If you ask for wisdom, the Lord will give it to you. There's nothing kept from us in this universe except when we don't ask. Except when we don't ask, right? Grace is available to all of us. You just got to know what to ask for, right? So ask for the grace in your life. Ask for grace for your health, grace for your children, grace in your business, grace in your love life. Ask the Lord for grace, right? If you need messages or answers from the Most High, just ask, right? Ask the angels, like, will this serve my highest and greatest good? Will this put me on a my best timeline? And then ask for clear signs, right? Like should I, would it make sense for me to take this position in New York? Will that serve my highest and greatest good? Will that serve my family best? Or would it make more sense for me to move to London at this time? Right? And then just ask for really clear signs. And I always ask the universe to repeat things to me 3 times really clearly so that I know that it's not my ego self making up the answer that I wanted, that I think that I want, but it's really my higher self giving me clear and concise guidance, right? So ask, right? You're receiving from angels, but angels are here basically to work for us, right? Work with us and for us. Like they have stuff to do when we give them tasks to do. You literally have a team of angels around you at all time, just waiting for direction. So just ask. Literally just ask. You don't have to feel shy about asking. It's like prayer. You don't have to be ashamed about the things that you pray for. You don't have to be ashamed about the things that you're asking for. When I was at a crossroads with a move and I wasn't sure which move to take, and I had three options in front of me. And so I asked my angels really clearly, and I did a reading on all three locations, right? And the thing that I wanted most would have been the most struggle for me and my family. And the thing that was not in my radar, but was an option given to me, ended up being was the one that was like got like 5 stars. Like it was like gold stars, high fives. And it shocked me because it was like something that wasn't on my radar. But guess what? When it came to what's gonna work for my highest and greatest good, what is gonna put me on my greatest timeline, what is best for my children right now? I got really clear answers. And so once I got my answers, I packed my shit and I moved to the place that wasn't on my radar. Because at the end of the day, if that's my highest and greatest good, and that's going to put me in my highest and greatest timeline, then that's where I want it. That's where I need to be. I could have chosen any of the other options. We have free will. It was my choice. But I asked for clear guidance and direction because I wanted the choice that made the most sense, not just to me and my ego mind, but to my soul, to my business, to my career, and to my family. Right? And now we're in a really good space. Now we're in a really good space. So just be really clear and ask, right? Be shown your path. Be shown what skills and sets you should be working with. You know, like if you have a variety of talents, and you're not really sure which ones to use first that's going to help you serve the collective or build your business, then ask, right? Which thing should I be focused on most right now? I had to ask that too. Like, which one of these spiritual gifts and talents should I be focused on most right now so that I can be really clear and I can better serve the community, like better serve the collective? And I was given clear guidance. And so I followed through with it and I've been being really obedient, right? So just get really, really clear. And if you're not clear about something, you're confused, ask for clarity, ask for guidance, right? Ask to be taken to your highest and greatest timeline and for the highest and greatest good. And sometimes it's not the thing that we necessarily quote unquote want or think is best for us. But we have the ability to tap in to higher realms, and they have, guess what? A much broader perspective. They see the big picture. They see the big picture. So of course I'm gonna go to the Most High. Of course I'm gonna go to the angels because I know that they're not down here on the ground doing the grunt work in the 3D with me. I know that they're doing the extra work, right? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12D, and they can see the big picture. They can see the big picture of my path and my life goals, and they can see what the path of least resistance is and where it's gonna take me to align me to my happily ever after in the fastest way. And so I trust in the guidance that I'm getting. So I'm just guiding that to you. Just trust in the guidance that you're getting and get really clear, right? Ask for clear guidance and ask it to be 3 times, right? And sometimes it'll be like, if this is the answer, if my answer is go to New York and that's the highest and greatest good, cool. Show me an apple 3 times, right? Because New York is the big apple. And if I should be moving to London and that's my highest and greatest good, cool. Show me like what do they have? What is England known for? Like warm beer. Like show me like some mugs of beer, like 3 mugs of beer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like whatever it might be for you. Um, or like what is it? Something and fries, like fish and chips, right? Whatever that might be for you, right? And then just ask to be shown those messages 3 times and give it like a timeline. Like I'd like to see this in the next 24 hours, in the next 2 days. Just show me what's gonna work best, and then trust that the answers are gonna come in, right? Trust that the answers are gonna come in, and trust the guidance is gonna serve your highest and greatest good. And even though you may not know all the answers, everything will be added onto you as you need it, right? All the pieces will fall into place, right? I know I said I was gonna end it, but I love you. So anyway, I love you more than you could ever know. God loves you more than you can even understand, and angels surround you. So give them something to do. All right. Later, my beloveds.